Yo, boys, this is Trails. I just gotta get this off my chest. This is probably not gonna go anywhere. But I just wanted to explain my thoughts over the fucking League delay. Might come across as very salty, because I am. So, what better way to express my emotions than via podcast-wise-ish talking to, I guess, no one, but to just explain my thoughts somehow. Because I can't grasp how they thought it was a good idea to delay the League 2 weeks before we were supposed to start. I've got some lo-fi music in my ears just to set the setting. I'll probably put it under this video if I ever post it anywhere. But yeah, for me it goes a lot deeper than the League being delayed. A lot of these points that I'm gonna bring up are probably gonna sound pretty selfish, but it does make me think about where I'm gonna be as a content creator on this game eventually. Because if the higher-ups slash J-mods, because I'm sure there is some terrible communication going on internally too, if I'm gonna be continuing to play this game. Because if it's this mismanaged, and it's been this mismanaged for a very, very long time now, I don't know if this game's got, one, a long lifespan, two, a long lifespan for me. Because if shit like this keeps happening where I am personally postponing content, doing other content that I'm supposed to be doing, because I'm waiting for an update that's eventually not gonna happen, then I am messing with my paycheck, and that just is not sustainable. Again, this might sound very arrogant and selfish, but it's something I'm worrying about right now. And first things first, the League 3 has been announced for like the past, I want to say 2 months, but it's been teased since the end of last League. The next League will be around the same time. So I was speculating on Leagues being in November/October for like the past, let's say, 8 months. So I already told my girlfriend, hey, in November, we're not going to see each other because I'm going to focus on this one thing that's like a big tournament. And not only will a lot of people come watch, it's also going to be incredibly fun. And it's the one thing I'm actually really still looking forward to in this game that I'm playing for my job. And she's like, all right, I don't like that, but it's for your job, and if a lot of people are gonna watch and stuff, then you have to take that opportunity. So yeah, me and all of you guys and a lot of other people, a lot of RuneScape creators, have just built a lot of, that were gonna play the League, have just built a lot of hype, planned their content, planned their work days off, around this date, and it's just it's almost criminal to, without any notice, out of nowhere, because we didn't find it out until yesterday. It is currently the 20th of October. We didn't find out until the 19th of October when Ash actually replied to a tweet that it was not set in stone yet, that this League was gonna be maybe delayed. We had to find out via a tweet from Modash, and that just lacks so much professionalism. And then today we get this big drop of, hey, the League is gonna be delayed, out of nowhere. Instead of thinking, like, don't put the date in stone. How many goddamn times does RuneScape, old school RuneScape, maybe even RuneScape 3, I don't know, how many times does this have to happen for them to announce a date and then delaying it? Stop announcing dates. Legit. Especially when you got your 3 biggest updates back to back to back. DMM, the group Ironman, and then League. I've been vouching for League before group Ironman for the longest time. And granted, a lot of more people looked out to Group Ironman than League, so I kind of understand their decision to push League back and do Group Ironman first. But announce it a little sooner, dude. 2 weeks is absolutely criminal. It is disgraceful. It is lack of communication. Why do we have communication managers, like 2 or 3 of them, when we can't have the slightest notion of this date might actually not be the actual date because we're gonna wait to see how the Group Ironman feedback is. Obviously, they delayed it because Group Ironman is making them enough money. And they don't need another burst of new players into the game because everyone's still playing Group Ironman. I understand that. That's marketing. Don't have anything to do with it. But you could have... Like, when everyone was already complaining when you put Group Ironman League and DMM so close to each other. By the way, talking about DMM, we still haven't got a finale rerun, which you've promised, or which Jagex has promised us to give an update on, and they're just trying to sweep it under the rug. I also still think we don't have to accept that, and we should... I don't know what. There's nothing we can do, that's the biggest problem. But that should also just have a rerun. They're like, hey, yeah, we'll update everyone on Monday. And no update, no absolute thing, like nothing. And the PKers are still just waiting. And this is where I think PKers and PVMers will finally come together to realize, holy shit, they are just fucking up royally on every front. I get it, PvPers spite voting PVMers, PVMers spite voting PvPers, yada yada yada. And that's mostly because Iron Men and PVMers have gotten their say and have gotten their updates. But now, they've hit the PVM, the hardcore PVM community, where it hurts. They finally will come together to just realize how much of a fuck up is going on over there and how absolute ass the communication is. Anyway, I'm digressing a little bit, but I needed to get this off my chest. On one final point that is also completely arrogant, but relating to my earliest points at the start of this way too long now conversation monologue, is where I kind of started off with this being my job and me having to play this incredibly mismanaged shit game. To say it very rudely, I still like the game. But things like the league and stuff get me more excited about the game because everything else is just incredibly bland. But I digress. My point being, December/November are the two biggest months for YouTube AdSense. Your CPM, how much money you make per view, per person that watches your ads on YouTube, is about triple of what it is in January, in November and December. So again, very arrogant, but Jagex is cutting my paycheck, like, in half. Just by delaying the league 1 month. Which again, it's not a big deal. Like, I make enough to do this for a living, which is absolutely fantastic, and thank you guys so much for that. But it's still not a fun thing. What if your boss just suddenly 2 weeks before you're supposed to get a raise says, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that, but you'll still do like the more fun activity that we planned you on doing, but you will not get that pay raise, and you'll just have to do it regardless, but then a month later. Terrible analogy, but you get what I mean, kind of, I hope. So yeah, so many factors wrong with it. Just give us a blog post every week like you already do, and at the end of it, just put what you're working on. That would be enough to stop some speculation, because now we actually have to believe rumors that are circulating around Twitter, and the worst thing is, they are usually correct. These rumors on Twitter are doing a better job than your actual community managers or whoever the fuck head of communications is over there at Jagex. And that is disgraceful. Anyway, thank you for listening, and peace.